Okay, let's see. There we go. Here we go. It should be going. All right. And of course, we can edit this part out. The first part.
Yo, we got invited to Club Hologram from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. We might have to take a nap ski before we go.
10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Wow.
That's a late one. It's a club.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder what kind of degens are gonna be there.
So that's so okay. So you're the like king of the nightlife. You know all the
I'm
things.
not. I am usually not even up that late, but that doesn't mean I don't get invited.
Right. But let's talk about last night. Last night was the um it was like the night before the kickoff, something like that.
What's Temple? It's at a place called Temple.
Temple.
Yeah, let's see what it looks like. Temple is a it's a full blown nightclub.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna break dance and disco until 2 a.m. apparently.
I don't know, buddy. But you know what? I don't want to have to edit too much of this out. So what are
Okay.
we doing? Do you want to start over or
No, let's talk
what?
about it. Keep it going.
Keep it going. All
Yeah.
right, all right. This is how I roll. This is. I know you're a planner though. You're much more of a planner, just from when we first met and everything. Super planner. No, you sort of are on the
I'm
fly
glad. I'm
too.
so glad. I think that you think that. You know, I'm so glad that I gave the appearance of scheduled, but it is just mostly off the cuff, just like everybody
how many
else.
how many of these events how many of these events have you come to?
You know, that's a terribly revealing question. I go to a lot of these events. I travel to these events with the community. I mean, I feel strongly like this community has the potential to be um, a real solid part of the future of finance, the future of technology, of the things that are coming next.
Right.
If you want to be a part of it, this
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
gateway.
This is yeah, this is cool. And I heard somebody talking about sort of um, that there's a big difference between your world and my world, even though our worlds can come together, right?
That
But
doesn't mean they don't cross,
they don't
right?
cross, right? So is your world is like the world of roll ups and so
Yeah, so
liquidity pools and all that, and then
it's a
I'm this
different.
like I'm this different guy, right?
You definitely have a way about you. You have a way about you.
I,
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is either, but I mean, not different. Like I'm very focused on on blockchain as a data system, right? And so
Right.
I'm not as, but it's so, but I think it is. What I'm realizing is it's the data system to better support what you guys are doing and better support what turns out our sponsor here, Metis, is doing, right? Because that's what NFTs are. That's what Ethereum is really about. It's about bringing data into this world, and it's more than just NFTs, right?
I couldn't agree more. I think that each year as I've been diving into this industry, peeling it back layer by layer to really understand what is blockchain technology, what is the difference between centralized and decentralized, what is my identity, what are the roles and responsibilities there. Well, it's not something that's I instinctively understood. I don't think many people do, and so each year, there's patterns, there's trends, there's things that are coming out that become popular, and it's as the technology advances, people want more ways to utilize that technology, and people are getting creative. So right, it's not just NFTs or tickets or a receipt. It's meant to be the fabric of data for the
Right.
for our
Yeah.
generation, the next generation. And so the
I
more complex and detailed that data can be, and recoverable and immutable, and all of those things are important,
right.
because you don't want just junk data. You want
Yeah.
real data
Yeah.
that can be used to hopefully improve something.
That's right. We can verify the data. You know what? So one thing that's interesting about this space is, in some ways, the good projects, the decentralized projects, never die. Because they can't.
Right.
They can't. Because they're on the blockchain and they can just keep going
That's
and
a big
going and
appeal.
going.
That's a big appeal. I mean, I think any software developer would agree that they've experienced their fair share of not getting their fair share, or maybe this not having all of the pieces together at the same time. I don't think anybody really does. So that
Yeah.
having your infrastructure, your data immutable, or even certain parts of it, maybe things that you need to keep running for the livelihood of your projects, for your business, so you can continue to build upon those things, is essential. I mean, that's the difference between what's available now and what was maybe available 5 years ago, 6 years ago. There's
Right.
more layers that make it, another step that you can stand on without falling back down to the bottom and starting all over again.
That's right. And I think that that's one of the big differences between Web 2 and Web 3 was, in Web 2 the clock was always ticking, and if you didn't make some goal, the whole thing, you could be to
Freezes
60,
up,
seventy
locks is up,
percent and
right?
it just that's it,
Stops.
stops. And it's almost like playing house, right? And then you go off and you do it again. Whereas here, now it doesn't ever go back to zero, right? Because the stuff that you build in this space is just there.
Right. And
You know,
you
it's
can
just
continue
there.
to, you'd be surprised if you keep data. The longer you keep data, and the more you analyze it, and the more you work with it, and the more you improve upon it or update it,
Yeah.
the closer you get to, a finished final, production ready something, or maybe something that the community finds and starts contributing to. There's lots of different
Right.
outcomes there,
Yeah.
but at least there's something to work with
That's right. Now,
instead of
now, in addition
nothing.
to in addition to Metis, and we should probably say what Metis is, right? It's a new blockchain, um, and uh, it it's sort of in the form of cryptocurrency, but it's kind of a data. It's more of a data system, more of a, it's got. I mean, we're in the ZK house, right? So there's certainly the promise of things like that, like, um, uh, these
Speaking of,
tunnels, right? The tunnels that you're always talking about.
not for nothing, ZK Sync also dropped by and gave us a really great quest to accomplish. And there's Ethereum at the end of that rainbow. We'll have to get back there. But
Right.
I know that directly relates into, Metis. ZK Sync, Metis, the ZKVM rollup, all of these things are um, interrelated.
Right.
Dare
And,
I say the wormhole?
and when you talk, so what you were talking about was at this Denver, ETH
The this
Denver.
this generic off-chain messaging protocol for wormholes for EVMs. I mean, when you take it down to like the Linux layer, the Unix commands, or the
Right.
CLI, that's something that's not, everything uses a different glossary to describe something very similar depending on the architecture that it's referencing.
Right.
Metis, is an EVM.
Right.
We've seen so many practical applications and integrations of ways that EVM chains
Oh
can
yeah,
be
absolutely,
integrated and
absolutely.
adopted. And I think Metis is, the next iteration of that for Web3 for 2024. It really,
Right.
um,
Yeah.
they're the main sponsor this year for ETH Denver. They put on a banger last night, the best.
I know. I was there. I was
Deals were
there for a
made.
little bit.
The
I don't
future.
think we even saw each other. I saw Victor, but I didn't see you.
I The future was decided upon last night, and it was so awesome to have all of your, the people you collaborate with all year long in the same place,
Right.
including
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
including,
Absolutely. Yeah.
everybody who's in this
It's
house for the
very,
most part.
very cool. And this house is very cool. We're down in the basement right now. We're in the basement of the hacker house. Yeah.
Hacking. That's how you
Hacking,
get
hacking. See, there's proof. Look, I brought my keyboard, so that's it. That's proof I'm hacking.
Right.
But
We have
yeah,
whiteboards and markers
all
and
the things, all the things. Yep.
the goal is to, as Metis debuts their L1, their mainnet launch, their EVM, um, they've come with a full stack. I mean, they've really got quite a few partners on board already. They've got a lot of support. It's not for nothing, but their mainnet hasn't even launched yet,
Right.
and that's
Yeah.
the thing. So we're as usual super
Yeah.
early.
Yes. But wait a minute. The mainnet hadn't launched, but I have some metas that I played around with, and in fact,
Well, that's because you're on the developing team, John.
I see. I see. Is that what it was? It was because I was right there, and
You
the guy
you,
just went.
you have the metas
Gave me a little.
because we were
Is that an air?
at the dev workshop. It just so happens to also be in the basement where we are.
So it's not an airdrop when you hold out your phone with a QR code and some guy scans it and gives you.
That's a transaction.
It's just a transaction. Okay,
Right.
it's not an airdrop.
It was a handoff.
Yeah.
The tokens needed to get from A to B, and it was
So
because we're building on Meta, so you need tokens to build on Meta.
right, and so as you know,
No
I
token,
I
no
have a
transaction.
very I have a very sort of caveman, simple approach to everything, um, which is apparently similar to that Satoshi guy. That's what I heard. And
Which one? There was about 100 Satoshis walking around yesterday. I was like, wow, this is a. I didn't realize Satoshi was such a big family.
so I have my really super simple smart contract that I
You,
use
ca-
for
you call it a
everything.
dumb contract,
I
don't
call
you?
it a dumb
But you
contract, yeah,
can't
because it doesn't
label
do
it a
much.
dumb
Yeah,
contract, so you call it a simple smart contract.
simple. Oh, I see. I see.
Can't say
It's a.
dumb.
I don't know. That's anyway. Anyway, I ran it on. I ran it on Metis. I stuck it in Remix. Boom! I put my contract out there, and
You did. You put it in
I know.
Remix.
Yeah,
You
I'm like
heard them. You
halfway.
heard homie say Remix earlier, IDE for Solidity when I was
That's
talking
right.
about Solana Playground. And instead of listening to me directly, you have to hear it. You have to scoop it just to take it and go, oh, I better try that. That's alpha.
Well, that's just how
I
that's just how
know,
I
but I'll
roll.
always tell you. I'm not trying to keep any
but
secrets
then
here.
but then my wallet was accidentally pointed to Metis, and so I've started broadcasting
So let me ask you:
my
Is it the
stuff
same?
into Metis.
Is your Metis wallet address the same as your Ethereum or Polygon address? Sure.
Absolutely, because I'm the same person. I'm
But
the
is
same
it the
person.
same wallet address?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that makes it super simple. So you
I
could
know,
just
I know.
use
So you can so
MetaMask.
so like if you look on the my main proof of concept is on Polygon,
What's their mainnet called?
the Polygon mainnet or
No,
Metis.
Andromeda.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's Andromeda.
Something
Yep.
mainnet. Andromeda mainnet.
We'll have to do another one of
Metis
these.
Andromeda.
We're gonna do another one of these with like super broadcast power, and we'll be able to switch screens when you make clever references
I
like
think
that.
if you
So,
just point like this to the sign and
oh,
smile.
well, there's the grants, right?
Right, point to
So
the
that's
grand.
that's what you need to do. You need to go to metis.io/grants and apply, and get some of that. What is that? Quarter of a
It's a really exciting
quarter of a
experiment.
billion dollars. Is it? It's a lot of
There's a
money.
lot of practical applications for the Metis blockchain and rollups in general,
Yeah.
and ZK rollups on top of that. Because when we're talking about these, maybe other blockchains that are rolling up or institutions that are integrating into blockchain and they need an EVM solution, then we're talking about you can't use any insecure bridge, right? You just can't move that kind of money back and forth over an insecure bridge. You don't. So
Right.
you need a
Yeah.
secure
Yeah.
solution. You need a new solution. You need something
Oh, I
that
see. And so
a ZK roll up.
is this the bridge where
It's not.
I'm on
It's a
both
bridge
sides?
that's not a bridge, because if it were a bridge, it would be insecure. But it's not a bridge. It might work similarly to a bridge.
And this is the wormhole.
This is
What is this called?
I call it wormhole because I come from the Solana ecosystem. That's how I was introduced to the messaging protocol.
Do you feel comfortable saying the S word?
Solana, Solana,
I guess so.
Solana, Solana.
That's
full
something you
life.
like. You like Solana. I've noticed
Solana is
that.
such a thriving ecosystem of you know cool, innovative, smart. The experiences for the developers are really strong. They don't have such a strong presence here at ETH Denver, but that's because
That's good.
we're here. And we're
Is
Solana
that
pretty.
that's not surprising,
We're
is
we've been
it?
building on Solana since 2021.
Is it? It's
Solana
so
was $8, right? So at this
yeah,
point,
yeah.
we've been following the playbook, like good Solana degen maxis like we
Right,
are,
right.
and so we have a Solana on top of Solana. What what
But
do you say about that?
well, hold on. Let's talk about something else though. Um, so this week I revealed something. I revealed that a long time ago I had made my own ERC 20 smart contract, right, in the cut and paste way that I did. And so I have a bazillion trillion tokens, and it was called Fishbone.
Fishbone token.
Fishbone. And then you did all your liquidity pool stuff, and you made it to where the Fishbone token showed up on Solana,
Yes.
and that was pretty cool.
Thank you. You showed me some pretty cool stuff too, John.
Yeah, yeah.
The whole point is, um, from my perspective anyway, as a developer, the barrier to entry for Solana, the transaction fees alone are much lower. So the amount I was able to transact, the amount of infrastructure I was able to build on Solana, if you put that on an Ethereum chain, any Ethereum chain would be $1 billion, hands down, and that's unobtainable
Yeah, I never
for
build on Ethereum itself.
so I see the practical applications for Ethereum for data, for information, for large scale enterprises, for security. There's lots of great things about
Hmm.
Ethereum, but that doesn't mean you have to use Ethereum to be a blockchain developer. Not at all.
Right. I mean, these things clearly aren't going away. You know.
No, and I think whatever makes things more accessible for Solana really is for the developer community. It's for the builders. So you can use Solana in a lot of interesting ways to interact with other blockchains. There's a lot of possibilities with things like the wormhole or their application, the portal bridge, or now with ZK rollups and Solana's low fees and
Hmm.
fast speed is really something that like it's not just like a mantra that you repeat. Like that's true. Like we can attest to that. You can see it on chain. You can check out Purple Squirrel
Hmm.
and find it. The history back to 2021. So there's not really a lot of things that I've noticed that you can't do with Solana.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have the audited official Solana CLI, but then there's
Right.
also the Metaplex CLI, the Candy Machine CLI, Solang. There's the SPL token CLI command. There's
Right. Yeah.
many, many,
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
different ways, but it's
And
all Solana.
I'm very uh, currency agnostic. I believe that Web 3 is all of these things
Sure.
together, and
And
there's a
okay, consider this from a developer perspective with Solana. This will be the last thing I say about it. Is that say you're going through your Coinbase and you've got all your tutorials to do and you want to try out all these different chains.
yeah.
Uh, just the amount it would cost to use those other bridges that are available to bridge over your $20 in Ethereum to do your tutorial and learn about the new
Right.
blockchain
Yeah. Yeah.
would be substantial. But if you can just send it over from Solana for less than a penny, why wouldn't you do it? And then it just appears on that chain as that token.
Right. Yeah.
Doesn't just appear. There's a lot of things that happen in between there to
Yeah.
make the magic happen.
Yeah.
But you understand a one to
Yes.
the
And
other.
and so as I under is like and the way I function, right, is as I make a connection to a new concept, I bring it into my world so that it's
I
part
want you
of this
to, and that's why I
core
want to
kind of
draw the connection between for you and for everyone. And maybe it's the reason why I'm here and nobody understands is like the wormhole is the same as a ZK rollup.
That's right. That's the new
For the
thing you're
most part. I
saying.
mean, it's a similar, very maybe not exactly the same because we're talking about two different
Right.
blockchains
Yeah.
here, but the protocols and the underlying mechanism of off-chain proof
Right.
and then on chain somewhere else
Mm-hmm.
is the same. The concept and the
Right.
use case is the same. That's
Yeah.
what it's for, and it's just a different ecosystem, a different
Yeah.
name, and so I'm trying to lend to the projects here that connection so that maybe there's a way to utilize the things that are already in existence to build something completely new
Right.
instead of trying to understand. These things have been flushed out.
Yeah.
You improve upon models. You don't need to necessarily recreate the wheel to do an off-chain proof.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I have an idea.
What's that?
There's a chance this may not have recorded right. So, let's. Why don't we kill it and then
All right.
take a look.
All right. Signing off.
Signing off. Yeah.
John, if you did all that and we didn't record, I'm gonna have to take a break. Oh shit! Is this tonight or tomorrow? Is today Friday? No, it's tomorrow. I have to go to that one tomorrow.